What's going on, everyone? Happy Monday. Hopefully everyone is doing well, staying safe, healthy, having a great day so far, and testing negative for all those viruses that can make us sick. It is time now for the Monday edition of the Virus Update for Monday, November 24th, 2025. If you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. This is where I do the daily virus update on all those viruses that can make us sick. There's a lot of viruses out there, and you need to be informed of what's going on with them. That's what I do here on my channel each and every day. Give me the next 10 to 15 minutes, and I will inform you of what's going on here in the United States today. Oftentimes, we also talk about the rest of the world, and I think we're going to talk about Australia today as well. So if you're new, subscribe down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Hit the notification bell. Share this video with anyone you know, and leave your comments down below. Already, we have just a few news stories today. Didn't do a lot of research, so if there's something big that happened, chances are I probably missed it, but we do have some things that I already had queued up earlier in the day. So let's get right into that, shall we? Starting off with this from BNO News, the weekly U.S. COVID update. New cases of COVID. Now, this is not a full number, mind you. A lot of people don't get tested. This is just estimated that there are 67,386 new COVID cases within the last week in the United States. We know the real number is actually much higher. Hospital admissions, 4,717. Hey, that's up by 57%. In the hospital currently for COVID in the United States, 3,002. That's down by 3%. And the ICU number, 442. That's actually up by 4%. New deaths, not available, and the death average is also not available. Deaths have not returned to the reporting yet. It's still in a blackout phase from the shutdown. It's not to say there haven't been deaths, it's just that they haven't updated deaths. The CDC has not updated that number yet, so eventually it will update. COVID cases are relatively low, but rising across much of the South, the Midwest, and parts of the East. Deaths have not been updated, as I just said, since the government shutdown. So far this year, nearly 5 million COVID cases have been reported in the U.S., causing 347,624 hospitalizations, and at last check, when they last did update deaths, it was 19,153. That number is likely to significantly increase whenever the CDC does update COVID deaths once again. All right, moving on now to the weekly COVID update from Mike Horger. I don't think he had an update last week, so this is kind of a big update. And you'll see here what the real number of COVID cases could potentially be at this time here in the United States. PMC COVID update, week of November 24th, 2025. With CDC operational again, the transmission map is back. The data are always a week old, so transmission is likely worse than shown in this case. That's because we're in a phase of starting to go up once again here in the United States. 1 in 116, or 0.9% of the U.S. population, is estimated to be actively infectious. COVID-19 heat map here. You can see here, we do have moderate levels now in Illinois and moderate levels in Arkansas. So that's interesting to report. We've been seeing that portions of the Midwest are starting to go up, and maybe some of the Mid-South as well. PMC estimates 422,000 new daily infections. Yeah, that's a much higher number than that weekly number. I mean, mind you, that weekly number from BNO News, you got the PCR testing, don't have the at-home testing. There's a lot of people that just don't get tested right now, and there's a lot of these at-home tests, these guys right here, that do not get reported to the CDC. So, therefore, the real number, based on wastewater, is much higher. PMC COVID update, this is the state-level estimates, and does 1 in 45 in Indiana seem moderate? Yeah, I think it does. That does seem moderate compared to some of these other states, which are actually doing really well right now. For example, Florida. Actively infectious, well, very low, and it's 1 in 408. Hawaii right now is 1 in 426. So yeah, there are some states that are really low right now. Arkansas is currently moderate, and that is 1 in 47. Kentucky is 1 in 74. Indiana, again, 1 in 45. Maine is at 1 in 69, so that's low. That's going to be pushing moderate pretty soon. Mississippi still very low, 1 in 328. Hey, look at this, Guam, 1 in 887. Yeah, that's very low. That's some good news. Here's a few other states. Let's see here. Oregon is 1 in 194. That is very low. Oklahoma is 1 in 70, so that's low. It's not very low, but that's kind of getting close to being moderate. New Hampshire is 1 in 78. Nebraska is at 1 in 95. And then we have a whole bunch of others in between that are all mainly very low. For example, I'm looking for Washington here. Yeah, Washington, the state of Washington, very low, 1 in 212. So we're still doing very well when it comes to actively infectious estimates, meaning that if you're in rooms of, say, 10, 25, 50, or 100 people, your chances of being infected are not terribly high just yet. These numbers will get significantly worse down the line. So, just for an example, if you're in Pennsylvania currently, it's 1 in 111 people actively infectious. Say your Thanksgiving gathering is going to feature 10 people, 9% chance of infection. 25 would be 20% chance, and then, well, let's say your gathering is really, really big. Say it's 50 people, 36%. And let's say you're going to a show, you're going out to eat, or whatever you're doing. Say there's 100 people in a room, it's 60%. But that's just COVID. There's other viruses out there. You got RSV, you got flu, norovirus, rhinovirus, on and on I could go. Those viruses are in circulation as well, so it's not just COVID that could be showing up to the Thanksgiving dinner table this Thanksgiving come Thursday. And this does remind me, if you are actively infectious with a virus right now, chances are you're not going to be able to clear that virus in time for Thanksgiving. Sorry, you're going to have to sit out Thanksgiving. I know, but it's sad, but you got to protect your loved ones. You just have to do that. All right, transmission is estimated as low in the relative sense, 1/3 of the recent wave peak, but high in the absolute sense because it's, hey, 422,000 infections daily. That's, if you think about it, that's still a lot of infections. So, yeah, that's not good. He says, Mike Horker says, on December 1st or the 5th, we should have more definitive info on a potential 12th wave. And let's scroll down here. He does have potential estimates for it. A forecasting model allows one to formalize all of the variables one might use to predict future transmission. We expect to surpass 500,000 new daily infections around the end of this month. Now, I do not know if this model is factoring any potential BA.3.2 interference that could come at some point. We don't know if that's going to eventually take over, but if it does, I don't think this would be estimating that, just simply because if that were to take over, I think at this point we're looking at sometime next year, would be early next year, midnight. I don't know when that would be if it took over, but right now, if we remain with the current variant, this is likely what would happen. And you can see, as we do head into December, that's another big month. It's, a lot of holiday parties, all that business. We go over 500,000 infections a day. And you can see here, we just continue to go upward at that point. And obviously, we don't talk about flu here in this forecast. He doesn't, but flu will go up as well. What you're seeing for COVID, it's going to be the case for many of the other viruses that tend to go up in the wintertime. All right, let's go over to Australia for a moment. COVID-19 outbreaks in Australian residential aged care facilities. This is as of November 20th, and unfortunately, we're going in the wrong direction over in Australia. This is not good. Active cases, 230. That's up by 22.9%. Yeah, they're having a spring wave in Australia. Active outbreaks, 38. That's up by 18.7%. Resident cases, 179. That's up by 22.6%. Staff cases, 51. That's up by 24.3%. Reported deaths in 2025, 403. That's up by 1. And, yeah, as you know, I always like to point this out. 2022, 2023, and 2024 had more COVID deaths than 2020, the year where everybody took it really serious. And so far this year, 403 COVID deaths reported there, which is actually higher than 2021. I don't know how much higher that's actually going to continue to go, although with cases going up, we can suspect there probably still will be a few more COVID deaths before this year is done. All right. Also, let's see. Anything else from Dennis? No. All right. Moving on now to this. The United States has now surpassed more than 25,000 cases of whooping cough recorded this year, higher than pre-pandemic levels per the CDC. It's not a good thing. No, not a. It's higher than pre-pandemic levels. This is not good. This marks the second year in a row with higher than usual cases, according to data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. So yeah, this is just not good whatsoever. 25,000 cases of whooping cough have been recorded so far this year. It's terrible. All right, moving on now. We did do a poll yesterday. It didn't get much attention. It didn't even get 100 votes. It got 99. Are you concerned about the winter wave of viruses this year? 92.9% said yes. 7.1% said no. As you know, X nowadays and many social media places do suppress things. Hey, I want to know, because I think we may be being suppressed here on YouTube. Are you receiving the notification bell? If you've hit that notification bell, are you being notified on your phone of my videos? I had someone the other day, I think it was yesterday, said, no, they're not being notified, and that's not the first time I've gotten that. I think from time to time they suppress us. They allow us to have a little bit of a run, then we get suppressed back down, then we have another run, and I think now we're back in net suppression again. I know. It's messing up our tool that we like to use. We like to use our data to show us what the viruses are doing. I don't think it's all that accurate right now because YouTube is clearly doing something. All right, let's see what's going on up in Canada at this time, shall we? We do see COVID-19 is low, flu A is moderate, flu B is low, and RSV is low at this time. All right, let's skip over the EMS data for today. Let's take a look at what is going on with a couple wastewater sites. Well, actually, no. Let's take a look at New York State first. 286 people have tested positive in New York State, and you can see here, this is actually slowly starting to go upward. That's not a good thing, and there is one thing I do want to look at, and that is the hospital data in Maryland. I have to refresh this. Apologies. I haven't really paid attention today, but I want to see what's going on there because it is a Monday, and we do see at least 1 4, and we see, several 4s. So a little bit busier today in the hospitals in Maryland. And in case you're wondering, 4 means 131% of the emergency department is occupied at that point. That means it's spewing over capacity. Maybe they got a problem with people trying to get a bed in the hospital, or they're just having too many people come in at once. All right, let's take a look at a few wastewater sites in the United States, and that will be it for today's video. Tomorrow's video will probably be a data-filled video, I'm thinking. And if there's an out in a while, I think it's going to be Wednesday. We'll see. All right, taking a look in the Northeast. We'll do one wastewater site from each region. Let's take a look at Boston, Massachusetts. And we do see COVID is medium and rising slightly at this time. Influenza A is starting to rise. RSV is starting to rise. Norovirus is medium. That's starting to rise. HMPV, very low, but has gone up a little bit. Like I said, there's going to be multiple viruses present for Thanksgiving this year, so please be careful. Southwest Orange County, Florida. What's going on there? Well, COVID has gone up slightly. Influenza A was low and still listed low, but this is going up. I think that's going to be categorized as medium or high pretty soon. Norovirus is listed high at this wastewater site, and take a look at that. There was a detection of Mpox back in October. Yikes. That is not good. Let's go up to the Midwest now. And I'm seeing a lot of high wastewater sites for COVID. What's going on just north of Detroit in Warren, Michigan? Oh boy, look at this. Big increase for COVID. I hope that gets corrected to not being as harsh. Even then even if that gets corrected, that is still a big rise for COVID. Norovirus is also going up at this time at this wastewater site. Now let's try and go out to the West Coast. The wastewater scan, like it does often, froze up on us. Let's see what's going on out in the West. And you can see here, COVID is still very low in the West because, well, obviously you know that. You saw that in the PMC report. But I do want to show you this. Rather than show you an individual wastewater site, and maybe I will, I want to show you flu here. We can see here in the San Francisco Bay Area, flu is listed high, and some of the other areas like Napa and south there, starting to increase when it comes to flu. And take a look at Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah. Let's choose that wastewater site, shall we? Flu here is going upward, medium, and continuing to increase. But you notice that's listed at medium, and the value is lower than what we saw. Where was that? In Florida? Yeah, I believe Southwest Orlando, Florida. So, or Orange County, Florida, Orlando metro area. So that's interesting. Influenza B also starting to go up. Norovirus is medium at this time, and we can see here COVID is also medium and going up slightly at this time. Alrighty, folks, that does it for the Monday edition of the Virus Update. We'll have another update again tomorrow. If you enjoyed today's update, give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, subscribe down below. Help me reach 10,000 followers. Hit that notification bell. Share this video with anyone you know. And leave your comments down below. I will see everyone again next time. Until I see you again next time, stay safe, everyone, and have a fantastic Monday evening. Thanks for watching.